So I don't necessarily have, it's like some people have a moment. Last month, I think we heard a moment in time where our presenter fell to his knees and just said, God, help me. Show me where you want me to go. So I don't necessarily have a one specific moment in time where God struck me and said, come to me. You need to understand I'm in charge. I'm in control. I've got a lifetime of it, okay? Unlike some people, I was very fortunate. I grew up in a Christian home. From K through 12, my education was all about being in the Word every single day. I grew up with that. My family went to church. My cousins went to church. I lived in the country where once a month you got together and celebrated the family birthdays. And we never talked about God. We never talked about Jesus, but he was there. You could feel it and you knew it because we were a very tight-knit family and we all attended church on Sundays together. Ultimately, I believe that was God's groundwork, laid it out for me. And that's one of the reasons why I think Christian education, which I work in right now, is such an important part of everything that we can do for our kids and their development. They need that overall. Fast forward, my first year of college, I went to the University of Wisconsin Manitowoc Extension, okay? My God moment, my time frame there was in one philosophy class where we were supposed to write a class based upon your belief system and philosophy on the education in the book that we were studying. And I wrote a paper, and it was all about my faith and what I believed in. And I got a big fat F on that test, on that paper. And I sat down with the professor and I said, what did I do incorrectly here? I wrote about my beliefs. And he said, there's no room for that type of belief system in my class. God moment. What do? Do you stand up for what you believe in, or do you rewrite the paper based upon the class and the world's ideals? Well, I fought and I got a B. So great, all right? Next year, I attended this school right here. I graduated from Wisconsin Lutheran College in 1992. Ultimately, none of these buildings were here except the library and the Tower building, which now has been expanded. So it's great to be here. I've never been in this building. I told a few people that. What I learned here is how to, I'm not a pastor. I can't do Greek or Latin, and that's in our church, we need that. I never knew I wanted to maybe be a teacher until I got here, and I'm not a teacher now, but I learned how to be a good lay person in the church and how to help others develop their faith and how to stay on the straight and narrow. Now working at Wisconsin Lutheran High School, which is right up the street, I get the opportunity to tell kids every single day and help kids learn about Jesus. And there's nothing more important than teaching the next generation how important it is to have that in their life and that firm foundation. After I graduated from college, I started working in the financial planning world. Talk about a den of ill repute. For 27 years, I helped people not only plan for their future, not only learn how to gain more money, but how to not be philanthropic. Okay, another God moment. Here we go. Looking back over those 27 years, I can say, God, why didn't you just make me do this? Why didn't you help me help people understand giving back to your work, giving back to the Lord, giving back and doing things like that? What a great opportunity to help them hear about faith and about Christianity, about how this should be the center of everything that you do. But it wasn't part of what we did. 11 years I spent at a large organization downtown, which may or may not be a mutual company. And maybe in the northwestern area of the world. My last years there was a new managing partner. This managing partner, the director of the organization, helped us goal plan. And what is goal planning all about? It's about what is your life going to do? Where are you going to be, right? What are you going to give back? What are you going to do? Well, he sat down with me and said, I don't like your plans. I don't like your goals. It doesn't look like you want to make over $500,000 a year. And I said, no, well, if I did, I'll tell you what I would do with it. And he said, there's no room for somebody like you in this organization if you're not willing to make money and just make money and make money. Well, I moved on. For the next, the great thing about that is I met my wife there, and we had a son. Awesome God moment there for sure. For those of you that have kids, what a miracle, right? Another God moment in my life. Ultimately, I moved on. jumped around a bunch of different organizations. My last organization, I told the new leaders of the firm, these are my 3 priorities in life: faith, family, and then work. That's it. And I will not go anywhere except in that order. And if you ask me to do something different, I'm not your guy. And they said, we love that you're our guy. So I helped them grow and develop the firm. February of 2020. What happened? COVID. March of 2020, it became very relevant. They told me at that point in time, what you're doing for us, we love, but we're going to have to end our relationship because we don't know what we're doing. So I was in charge of recruiting, development, coaching, training, teaming, the overall well-being of the firm. Well, that all changed in a heartbeat. So talk about falling on your knees and, oh my gosh, what are we going to do, God? Help me. Pray, 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 search, 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 look, look, look. All of a sudden, my son was in high school at Wisconsin Lutheran High School. We get these weekly email updates. I go to the bottom of the email, which I hardly ever did. That was my wife's job, to keep us informed of what was going on. And there's a little asterisk. It says job opportunity. Job opportunity? Well, maybe I should look at that. I asked my wife. She said, sure, do it. You should have been a pastor anyway, she said. And I couldn't do that. So all that training field, that 27 years of financial planning led me now to work at Wisconsin Lutheran High School, where my role is Director of Planned Giving. So anybody who has a question, who has a love for the ministry that we offer our children, our kids, our future, come to me and I can help them direct how to properly plan to make sure that their philanthropic needs are now taken care of. And the school perpetuates and stays here at least until I die or until Jesus takes us all back home. So, God moments in life. It's funny, this is a God moment, but a friend of mine writes this thing, a little blurb that I saw yesterday called Grace Moments. And I didn't know necessarily what I was going to talk about today. Then I saw this, and I just want to read this to you, how Solomon requested wisdom from God. And not only did God grant him wisdom, but he granted him riches and wealth and so much power that all went to his head. Reminds me of my time working in the financial planning world. And he stopped making plans for God, and that's hard. But as Solomon admitted in Proverbs, in human hearts, they plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. I thought I was going to live on the golf course with the big house and the cars and the pool and all that stuff. And ultimately, now through God's training field, I've learned that things like that aren't important. What's most important? Faith, family, and then whatever comes after that. And it was a hard lesson to learn. Ultimately, that I thought was my God moment, my God direction in my life. And as I look back, I can see those things. And I tell my son all the time now, he's going to be 20 in about a month. When God talks to you, you got to listen. And when things go askew in your life, look at that as a training opportunity that God's teaching you something else. And he's a pitcher. He plays baseball. Every inning before he pitches, he gets the ball. After they go around the horn, he steps off the back of the mound, he takes his hat off, and he prays. And I asked him once, what do you pray for? He said, that your light, Lord, shines through me every time I'm up here on the mound. Every inning he pitches. One time he was playing ball and the other team said, come on, let's get on with the game. And he stopped and he looked at him and said, I'm praying, please wait a moment. Very, very good for a kid that age. Ultimately, I thought that was, now I'm where I'm supposed to be, God, right? 27 and a half, 30 years later, you got me on track. And then last year, my wife got cancer. Wow, what a kick. But I got to tell you, we sat down and talked about it. And the first thing we said was, all right, everything works out great. We're in great shape. God's good. What an opportunity to share your faith with other people that maybe don't have that opportunity as to why you have such a positive outlook. B, we go through a lot of health, a lot of treatments, a lot of stuff. Again, what a great opportunity to profess your faith. C, worst thing happens. We know where we're going. Everything's cool. And to be able to sit back, there's my timer, to be able to sit back and just say, you know what a opportunity to tell people as well. Whatever happens, God's in control. I know where I'm going. It's all good. Isn't God great when you're down? So ultimately, 27 years, 30 years now later, here I am doing God's work, ministry, teaching kids, helping them hear about Jesus every single day, which again, I can't believe God took this long to get me here. I just am looking forward now to understand what's the next 27 or 30 years that God has in store for me. And this journey with this organization, with this group, being able to just profess, to share Paul's posts every day. Because I'm not a content creator like he is, but I sure tell you, I love reposting that and just putting it out there, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, or any other social media that's out there. So God directed me, here I am. Let's keep going, God. Whatever you got, let's go.